Hey guys, so I got this this edger. You're probably wondering where firstly, I'm actually in my sitting room. So I don't feel like being outside today, and my partner isn't home. She's away for a couple of days. So I'm in the sitting room. It's nice and cool in here, and I thought we could work on this edger together. This came as part of a deal. I got 4 or 5 strimmers and 2 edges for $100 delivered, and I know nothing about it. I've literally brought it in, got a few tools ready, and started the camera. And I figured we'll see if we can get it running and how much we can sell it for. So the first thing I noticed is the recoil. They've connected it up here. So the recoil's broken. We need to sort that out. I'm not sure if there is rope on there and it's just coiled in or not. The HT lead is not connected to the spark plug. That's the HT lead. That should be connected to that. That's not. Spark plug's loose. And one thing I did notice when I first came in and had a quick browse around, the fuel tap this side is on. It's been left on. So any fuel that was in the tank has now filled the carb up, and it's probably gummy. Is there any fuel in there? Nope, nothing in there. Does it smell? Oh, it doesn't smell the best. So hey, what should we start with? Let's start with the muffler. Let's just take the muffler off, because then we know exactly what we're dealing with. If the piston's scorched, then I'll probably end up taking the cylinder off, trying to file the piston, do what I can and get it back running. So let's get that off first, and we'll have a quick look at the exhaust side. Piston skirts, 2-stroke. So that's everything in a 2-stroke. 10s, they're a 10. And the exhaust stud's actually spinning with it. That's not ideal, but we can always Loctite that back up. Oh, it was spinning and now it's stopped, so we'll put those back in with some Loctite later. I think that's a pretty good angle. I'm gonna have to look through the camera because I can't see without. There's some scuffing, but nothing too terrible. Let me zoom you in. It doesn't look bad. Sorry, I'm leaning over to turn the actual cutting attachment. Don't worry, the spark plug's not connected. It doesn't look terrible, does it? It could certainly be worse. Normally there's a notch in there. Doesn't seem to be in this case. Right, so that's going that way. That has to go through that hole. You're going to pull it. It's going to go that way. So we want to. Is that right? Yep. Just wind it up. And we'll do it to the point where it fully retracts the rope, and I can still turn the mechanism another half turn at least. That way we don't damage the spring. That's nice tension, and it's fully out. We're looking for one more half turn, which we can get. That feels all right. This impact wrench by Milwaukee has a really good setting. The 4th setting, as it tightens up, it stops when it feels resistance, and that way you don't cross-thread things. Like that. That's fine. Okay. Let's see if we've got spark. I don't think there's a resistor in this plug. It's something to bear in mind. Oh yeah, we got spark. right, it's the sparks, but it's a spark nonetheless. Right, let's just check the air filter. I might need to get some pliers because I'm not going to be able to get a screwdriver under there, I don't think. Yes, we can. Oh, it's loose. Oh, the whole thing's loose. Oh. Okay. All right, it will come off then. Oh dear. Did I say this came from someone that repairs engines? Oh, it's all right. It's just one of these foam types. It's got some mesh in there too. Yeah. Okay, so I've just put the muffler back on before we came outside because otherwise it'd be terribly loud. I left the carb off, give it a bit of a squirt of fuel. I did have a quick look in the carb. There's reed valves in here. The intake goes into the cylinder intake goes into the crankcase rather than the cylinder. So I can't put fuel through the intake very easily, but we'll see. There is a kill wire, but that didn't affect spark, so I don't think it's grounding out anywhere. Oh, we got it. Let's put a bit more fuel in. Why not? That was rather underwhelming, wasn't it? Oh, I can see some smoke. That's better. All right, let's go clean the carb. So the carb's still hanging off. I'll prise that off with a screwdriver. Hopefully it's clear enough for you guys to see without the light on. Ah, that clip's not even on the fuel line. I think that one's been in here before us. A lump of hardened fuel had just come out there. That's not very reassuring. Okay, let's you have to disconnect the wire from up there. Try this one-handed and we'll see how we go. See if we drop anything or anything bounces out. Okay, so we have a screw, a washer, and then another washer, 2 washers, and then the lever, and I'm guessing this, yeah, it just connects in the back. How does that, what's going on here? That connects up there, got it, connects up there. So if I go like that, I give it a little bit of a shimmy. Ta-da, okay. And that should be the only thing that's keeping our carb in. This wire's broken too. Not the wire, the sheathing has got a break in it, so we'll probably put some tape over that. Yeah. Can you see? Let's start off with taking this cable out of the way. It's a barrel style carb by the looks of it. Oh no, it's a slide carb. Take the fuel inlet in, off. So we've got a fuel barb, which is clear. It's interesting how some things are tight and some things are loose. I think someone's probably been in here before me. Nothing. Full of crud or not? 1, 2, 3. That's interesting. Gasket looks intact. Take that off carefully, because I won't bother washing that. Oh, is it going to come off? Okay. All looks rather green, doesn't it? green line faces down. Not that I think it makes any difference, but yep. Not terrible. I mean, far from ideal. You take that main jet off. Oh, it's loose. Oh, it's loose. Everything's loose. That doesn't look blocked. That doesn't look blocked. Super simple. There we go. Needle is metal, that must mean the seat is rubber. I might give that a bit of a clean with some, just really gently with, let's use acetone. I was going to do Scotch-Brite, but I really don't want to scratch it. I'm going to go with a little bit of acetone. It's a metal needle, so acetone won't mess it up, but I want to make sure that I don't put any slight scratches in, because then it'll leak, then it'll flood the engine out. But if I can get what looks like to be just crud off without using any form of abrasive, then that's a much safer bet. Let's have a quick look under the hand lens, let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you, but this is what I'll be looking at. Can you see? Something like that. Right, give us a sec. Oh, the needle looks fine. I just had a look at the seat. As I said, I expected it to be some sort of rubber, but actually it's just looks like a brass seat. So yeah, let's put a cotton bud in there and just make sure that that's clean before it goes in the optronic cleaner. At least it gives it a little bit of a assistance. So a bit of acetone. Cotton bud. I could put it on a drill, but this will just give me an idea as to how bad it is. Yeah, seems to be okay. Let's see if it seals. Sounds like it. Oops, floats. Put that in there, keep it clean. All right. Lid. And away we go. So I was having a look at this fuel tank, and I didn't particularly trust this kind of connection here. It kind of looks a bit bodged, if I'm completely honest, but I actually don't have a screwdriver big enough that I can fit in this, tighten this up. It seems okay. There's obviously a lot of oil and crud in there that I'm going to have to wash out. But then what I did was put a mouth over it, closed that and blew, and I felt a lovely breeze of air coming out of there and there. That side looks okay. Now, the best solution with this is a soldering iron. However, I don't want to use my soldering iron on plastic. It's a new soldering iron, it's expensive, it's good quality. I'm not going to ruin it by getting plastic on it. So what I'm going to do instead is heat this up with a cigarette lighter, and I'm going to gently try and blend that together with a flathead screwdriver. So let me get a couple of bits and bobs, and we'll see how we go. Better yet is to get an old screwdriver that I don't care about, heat that up, and use that to melt the plastic. Something small that will heat up quickly is probably going to be the best choice. Let's give that a go. So I've given it a go. There is still a slight leak here. There's not quite enough plastic and it's super, super thin. What I have noticed, there's a little bit of flashing, well, I don't know if you'd call it flashing, but a little bit of plastic remnant on the top. We're going to take that off with a knife and then I'm going to melt it onto there. Let's see if I can see how this melts. It might melt and drip, which would be amazing, but... There we go, that's what we want. I reckon that might be good enough. What do you reckon? Now it's leaking out the bottom here, which I kind of expected, to be fair. Let's have a little look. Ah! There we go. That was the ultrasonic cleaner gone as well. Right, let's... I'll let that ultrasonic cleaner just do its thing for a bit. Let's see if we can take this off and if we can improve this seal here. So it's got like a washer on the inside, should have one on the outside. It's obviously leaking between it. I think we're going to give this a good wash and I'll bring you back. Soup's ready. Let's take that out and see what we got. Everything came out really nice and clean. Really pleased with that. I just literally screwed that screw on and then remembered to start the camera. So everything's clean, screws in, and we're going to rebuild the carb and then we'll go over rebuilding the fuel tank and valve there as well. So let's, that's done. We need that seal. That's just been wiped over with some fuel. I didn't know how that would come out. Even though this O-ring came out really good, that would be easy to replace. That wouldn't, so I didn't risk it, didn't put it in the heat. Jet, that came out really nice and clean. 8. Yep. Just snug. Jet came out really nice and clean too. It's nice and clear. Next. That looks like it'll be a 6. So 8. That's fine, I don't want to overdo it. Then we have that seat for the needle. That kind of, must admit, it does look a bit rough. Needle. We need to put a bit of oil in there to actually make sure that it seals, because it might not seal without any oil or fuel. So, and that's normal. That's not a reflection on this being an issue. Okay, that's that. Then we have the seal. Which way does the seal go? That way. We'll screw this piece on. That looks like it's an 8. Just put a hose on there and let's just see if it can hold just a little bit. There we go. And you turn it the other way. And that opens. Yeah, that's very good. Happy with that. That's fine. We'll just check that it's gone all the way down, which it has. Okay guys, so I've attached those with the seals as I said I would, and then I put some Tig on, can you see, and the fuel filter, little O-ring on this side, and then I just literally slipped the hose in, but it was a really tight fit, so it's not going to let any stuff out. So I'm going to tighten this up. All right, going to blow through it. Listen. It's good. Okay, next step is we've got everything put back together. I actually did a bit of a pressure test on this, and I found that it was leaking around here. So I took that cover back off, took the little crush washer out of the way, and I put an O-ring in there with some oil on it so it can twist, but it doesn't leak. And I also put some Permatex number 3 on the threads and slightly smaller O-rings, and they sealed up really nicely as well. So that's that. That passed the pressure test. Not that it needs to, but at least I know for certain that way it's not going to leak. All right, let's seal the exhaust port off next. So I've just loosened both of those bolts off, and I'm just going to stick some rubber tubing. Okay. Now, spark plug comes off, and we'll go and get the adapter that's going to sit in there. Now I don't need to do it up with a ratchet, just snug is good. And we'll start with pressure. Pressure checks for leaks, other than the oil seals. Pressure. It should hold. I don't think the seal's going to be bad. Everything else seems to be all right. Yeah, seems to be holding just fine. Let's try vacuum. Vacuum's the one where the issues can really arise. What I'll do, I'll test vacuum whilst rotating the engine over, because sometimes you can find that you'll actually get leaks with the engine turned over when it's not happening, when the engine's not turning over. So we're looking for around about 14 INHG. Oh, I was touching the lever there. Nothing just yet. All right, we'll just say a little bit above 10. Oops. Let's make sure it's gone back to where it is. And we're still just above 10. I don't know if that's even focusing for you, is it? So that tells me that the pressure and vacuum test has passed, and that's really important. That's one of the most important things that you can do with a two-stroke. So. Oh, looks good to me. I think we're all right. Nothing's leaking anywhere, except the stuff that I've dropped, I think. No, it's good. Okay. They seem to be holding just fine as well when I'm sloshing around. There's no wetness around there. So, okay, let's see if it works. Right, we need full throttle, choke, a couple of tickles. I say a couple of tickles, you just need to hold it down. Let's have a go, see what happens. Actually does feel low, but it did run, so. It should work like that. You reckon it needs a little bit of... No, it should... You reckon it just needs a little bit of a squirt of fuel? We can do that. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I just think it's not getting any fuel. I think that's what it is. But let's give it a healthy drink. Choke off. Full throttle. Let's see if this works. This should work. Flooded? Have we lost spark? Maybe we lost spark. Give it a go. No, it's a fuel delivery. They're not getting fuel. Ah. Oh, that doesn't help. I've just pulled the fuel hose off and we're not getting anything. What's going on here? What have I done that stopped it from working? Alright, can we blow through it? There we go. You just needed to encourage it. Right, me old line. Alright, we don't want to waste it. Back in you go. Just needs a bit of encouragement. What do you reckon? Give it another go? I'll just let it warm up. I do have to fix this. I'm not going to get too close to my fingers, but that crack there. She runs nice. They've certainly got it running rich. Which is a good thing, I'm happy with that. Kill button actually works. See if it gives me an electric shock. Oh, it does. Hey, that's great. That's really great. I almost want to go and test it out on some edges. Good to see you here. Hope you made me a cup of tea while you've been waiting around. Oh, that was a success. That was a success, wasn't it? Besides my terrible edging skills. That's good. What we have to do now is have a cup of tea. And then after the cup of tea, we're going to take this plate off. And I haven't got a welder, but I'm going to take this plate off and I'm going to put a bracket here. And I'm going to rivet it in place, and that's going to hold this together. Connect to plate, bend it on that point there, so that can then sit in there, and I can put 4 rivets in. That will give me enough space. So the plan is to go there, that way we're not impeding on anything here, and hopefully it will still hold. That way at least our rivets are going to sit nicer. Right, that's the first two. Tissue go. Now let's, I reckon you could probably do with a charge. You're going to lose your battery. That's one. That's really nice and snug already. Second one. Good. That's done. Two rivets are in place there. And now all we need to do is repeat the same thing for the holes at the top. So yeah, did those other three. Didn't bother getting those on camera. Exactly the same principles applied. And that is pulling that, oops, really nice and snug, nice and tight. It's not going to go anywhere. I'll just put that back together now. Might as well do it off camera because I haven't got a spare hand. And what else have we got to do? Tie up the loose ends. I know. Christmas tree's still up. It's not ideal. Well, it turned out pretty nice, didn't it? As I say, a little bit of oil goes a long way to making things look good. Everything's buttoned up nicely, and the only thing I want to do is pop on a longer pull rope because that one is too short, far too short. Let's pop to the part real quick, and we'll just give it a final cold start and make sure with the air cleaner on it's still just as good as it was before. Let's give it full throttle. Let's do half throttle. We'll try without choke first. Now, which way's that's off? Give it a couple of pulls, and if it doesn't start, then we'll go with choke. Nah, I think we could do, or maybe full throttle. Let's try full throttle. Nah, bit of choke. Would help if I had the fuel on. That wasn't the issue though. A bit of choke. Full throttle. Choke off. Nice and quiet. Until we get up there in the RPMs. It's tuned exactly where I'd have it. Basically, wide open throttle, it's still four-stroking slightly. Under load, it'll clear up. Let's try restart. Job done. Guys, thanks for chilling out with me. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I look forward to doing another repair, rebuild whenever I get around to it. Catch you guys.